Here we have the daily price chart for Palantir Technologies, stock ticker PLTR. So here we can see that the stock is starting to stall a bit at these upper levels. Yesterday's close was a red candle, so the movement there was a bit decisive, but the overall price movement that we're seeing here, if we sort of drill on in this chart a bit, uh, not very large candles here. The bodies on these candles are not very substantial. So ultimately, this does suggest a period of indecision in the market. So for these reasons, we will need to look at some very specific price levels in order to determine whether or not the stock's most recent price rally is actually sustainable, or whether we are in store for a bit of a crash here after this substantial run higher. In both senses, there are some valid arguments that can be made, given the fact that the share price itself has taken a real massive jump here over the last several trading sessions. So if we move back here a bit on the price chart, we can see that the near-term low came in at 21.23. As this occurred, there was a lot of uncertainty in the market. The basis for the prior rallies within the tech space were being called into question, and many people were suggesting that major technology stocks were being overvalued by the market. And when we say major technology stocks, we're talking about everybody essentially. We're really talking about the Mag 7 stocks as well. Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, Meta Platforms, all of these stocks were coming under major selling pressure during that period of time. And for the most part, Palantir actually did hold up very well under those trading conditions. If we go back to the real line in the sand that I've been pointing to with these videos has been the July 11 trading session. So that would have come in here, during this candle period here. And as we can see, the market actually, these market conditions really didn't hurt Palantir to a significant extent in the sessions that followed. Palantir actually rose a bit, and this was not the case for most of these other major technology stocks, and this would include the Mag 7. So, we didn't see a huge upward price movement during that period of time, but we did see the share prices move into new highs, new near-term highs coming in at 29.83. So, of course, that movement was not sustainable. There was just too much selling pressure in the market. So we did start to see this ultimate decline here from 29.83, and then we fell all the way to 21.23 during the August 5 trading session. However, since then, now the fireworks really started to occur because bullish investors really stepped in at that point and started to buy the stock at these lower levels. Ultimately, what this means is that the prior triple bottom from this would have occurred roughly during the May trading period. We did see 3 different price tests here, but overall, this was a point of resistance that occurred during trading periods that were much earlier. But ultimately, we didn't see a retest of this triple bottom support zone. So, essentially, investors stepped into the market well before this price test actually happened. And, the reversal here was quite substantial. So anytime you're seeing a movement like this, there are real questions about whether or not it's actually sustainable. Even if you're the biggest bull on this stock, you have to understand that prices can't simply move in one direction forever. So, a major question with this stock is its forward price to earnings ratio. This is still trading at levels that are far above what's seen in many other technology stocks. So that does present its own set of risks when you're dealing with technology stocks on a comparative basis. So, if you're simply somebody that's looking at price to earnings ratios, there are arguments to be made that Palantir is not the stock to buy, even though it might be a great company. So as things currently stand, we have to determine whether or not this recent price rally is actually sustainable. So to do that, first, we will be looking at the relative strength index reading. Here we can see at the bottom of the price chart that the overall trend here does remain favorable and positive. It's not strongly positive, but we continue to move in the upside direction. At the same time, the stock itself is starting to move into overbought territory. Overall, this should not be surprising given the fact that, this is your most recent price movement here. It's a very substantial price movement. And this follows a period of prior decline. So to see a measurement like that in the indicator reading is not entirely surprising. It might even be surprising that it wasn't more overbought at this point. So we did move into overbought territory. We did reach above the 70 mark in the relative strength index, and now we're starting to roll over. So even though the main indicator reading here is bullish, there is a risk here for further decline in the share price, given the fact that the relative strength index reading is rolling over, and we could start to see a period here where the relative strength index moves below its own exponential moving average. So that would essentially mean that this purple line here crosses below the yellow line here. If that were to occur, that would be a bearish signal within a bullish framework. So, you would have some conflicting signals at this point, but that would lend itself to a period of indecision like the one that we're currently seeing here. So, when I say indecision, what I'm really meaning is that you've got candlestick patterns here with small bodies on them. You don't see these large, full-bodied, green or red candles that show that there's a very decisive trend that's currently in place for the stock. Instead, what you're seeing is a broad series of upward price movements with many bullish candles in the process. However, the momentum here is starting to slow down a bit, and we are starting to see smaller bodies on these candles, which does suggest that overall momentum, the rate of momentum, is starting to decline a bit. So what this does suggest here is that the most likely scenario is that we're in store for a period of pullback, a bit of a downside retracement here, before we're going to be able to make another run higher. And that should not really be surprising to anybody, given the strength of this prior rally. There are still several positive bullish signals here on this chart. So as I said, the indicator reading here is bullish, and then in addition to that, we can look at the exponential moving average cluster here, and we can see that all four moving averages are pointed in the upward direction. You don't always see that. I mean, there are many instances, many circumstances where you will not see all four exponential moving averages trading in agreement with one another, and that is occurring here. So what this does suggest here is that pullbacks are likely to be limited. We could see pullbacks, and I would expect to see some pullbacks. I would actually say that would be a healthy set of circumstances for this stock. But given the behavior here within this exponential moving average cluster, I wouldn't expect these downside retracements to be very substantial, and we could actually see prices start to recover right around the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement zone, which comes in right around the $30 mark. So as that occurs, we're also looking at a 20-day exponential moving average that's moving right into this area. So this could ultimately work as a level of support for the stock going forward. Here's the current market analysis for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. Our high-value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high-conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk-to-reward metrics that target massive, market-beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.